I say whatever the hell I want. And I love my life. I used to hate it. I was the most motherfucking depressed bitch. That How We Feel app? My most common emotion was desolate. And then one time when someone just got rejected by a white man, they put that in their emotion. I was like, that's my fucking word. I just lay there rotting, staying at the ceiling for hours. And you're like, my parents are so mean to me. My mom told me to get off my phone and get a job. And like, I'm anti-capitalist, but like, my mother said no one would ever want someone like me. I'm a pretty emotive person. This is how I first started doing my video journals. Just fucking lounging, talking to my laptop, because I talk way too fucking much for people. But that's what the internet is for. But I just started by not posting it. I was gonna do it anyway. I'm usually neutral on game series. I was never an Undertale person. I love Pokemon, but that's because Pokemon are freaking adorable. But like, I've never been like, oh my god, this game. But no, I'm not a human. The art is gorgeous. White Knuckle, the art is gorgeous, and I love watching Markiplier play these games. Now, oh my god, Dan and Phil, I don't think they would have fun playing White Knuckle. I think it would stress them out. No, I'm not a human. It would stress them out, but in the good way. The art is gorgeous, and I want it, and please, Dan and Phil, please play this game. Please, I don't care about your relationship. I want to watch you play video games, please. You can still talk about your relationship. I'm just not going to watch it. But you know what I will watch? Video games. You watching video games or watching TV shows that I like. I don't give a shit about the hockey show. It's great. No. I love you guys and your yaoi. It's just not for me. I am friends with some of the worst goddamn textures. My friend Marilee, Moikaraluk. It's part of where I have my Tumblr, because they never freaking respond to me. So, I take all of the favorite things I say to them, and I put them on my Tumblr. And it's not that they're just terrible at texting, and they're really good at lurking. So also sometimes, instead of even texting them, I'll just put it on my Tumblr with a tag for one of them to look through, because I'm going to say it anyway. I want to say it anyway, but goddamn, I'm not going to let it be forgotten. It's going to be there, and then years from now, you can be like, oh shit, look through it, finally fucking respond to me. It's okay if it takes you 2 years. I would prefer a shorter time. But my Tumblr blog isn't going anywhere. When I was getting lunch today, I was walking towards the cafe, which is connected to one of the freshman dining halls. And as I'm walking up, one of these guys who walks in the building is like, oh, you look good. And I'm like, I'm used to people complimenting my style. I mean, what's not to love? But then I keep walking, and then he's like, oh, damn, hate to see you leave. Love to watch you go. And I was like, that's like, you in real life are saying that? That's like a joke phrase I love saying. Hate to see you go. Love to watch you leave. I had this bit where I had a pee-pee, which is like a bigger version of this guy. And I have two pockets, and so one of them is kind of a front pocket, and I shoved one of them in here. So you couldn't see it when I was like this, but when I turned around, there was my green cube pee-pee, and I said, hate to see me go, love to watch you leave. And everyone laughed. But they wouldn't leave. They were like, wait, hold up. And I was just like, I did not expect to get in this predicament. 'Cause he specifically said, love to watch you leave, shawty. I am not a shawty. I have pronouns. And I'm gonna skip this song solely just because freaking YouTube loves to get on my ass for my Buffalo Springfield, and it's like, no, I'm not trying to monetize this. They keep banning my videos in Russia and Belarus. They hate hippies, man. They hate my hippie music. I don't really think they like Harper's Bazaar much either. Oh, but maybe if I talk enough, then... Gross. I started this thing. So I made Gonzo. Gonzo has a blog, and now Gonzo's blog is on Face Supernatural episodes, and Gonzo has moved from just being a blog within a blog using my tag system in my blog to being in my gimmick blog, but the gimmick blog is that I wrote a fake Supernatural episode every day, but then I couldn't think of any more, and I wanted to keep using the account because I knew one day I would think of something new, but I'm also just gonna blog on here as Gonzo. So Gonzo took over fake Supernatural episodes, and now there's a separation. So that's Gonzo over there. But, oh, and Star Trek is playing. The header for my blog is Split Level House Phermit Trash #1. And it started out as Gonzo Phermit Trash #1. And I got rid of Kwa Kwa To Ja, which is a Dan and Phil reference in Polish. And I still can't stop talking about Phermit. I talk about it like every day. Phermit. I love Phermit. Everything I say is Phermit. I am an insane person. I was in class today, and we were talking about, a lot of people don't know who they are, and I went, I'm an insane person. He went, you are. And it's good that you know that about yourself, because there's a lot of people who don't. And I'm just like, I'm having a great time. It's like, I love showing people my Tumblr, and it was one thing when it was just a artist Tumblr, and then it became Gonzo, and then Phermit. I don't think a single person on that website even comes close to talking about Phermit as much as I did. I think if you were to go on Tumblr and look through Phermit, almost the entirety of it would be me. I already did that with Malcolm in the Middle months ago. And I'd say Phermit's even nicher, so it's definitely just gonna be me. I'm an insane person, we've been over this, but I'm also an artist. And I do what I want. This is Shocking Blue. They wrote Venus, if you've ever heard that. If you like 60s music, you've probably heard at least that one. It was an international hit. But they were a Dutch rock band. But I had my first storytelling meeting class of this year, my third time being in it, and final before I skedaddle. And today, we are getting to know each other. It's a storytelling troupe. We want there to be a level of familiarity between us. and we were given this I Am From poem, which was just like a Mad Lib, and it was supposed to be talking about our like childhood, so everyone, they were saying all of these warm memories or cold truths. I wrote, I am from an abusive household and disowning myself. So, British YouTubers, from Daniel Howell and Phil Lester. I was like, Dan and Phil, anyone, they did not know what the hell I was talking about. And I say, I'm from the weirdo and insane person from Something You Were Told as a Child, No One Likes You, and another freak. I'm from representation of religion, or lack thereof, my own personal philosophy. Further description, art, gold string. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. I was born in Cleveland, but I lived my whole life in Georgia. Also, my ancestry, the German-Swiss Alps, Polska, Finland. And so I have Pula, which is this Finnish cardamom breadish thing. Buckeyes, which are like these little peanut butter things, and then you just cover them with chocolate and freeze them. Yum. From the specific family story about a specific person in detail. From the who gives a shit about my biological family. I blog on Tumblr. Yeah. Paper, you can see Among Us. I also would be sitting in class blogging on Tumblr. Yeah, they were talking about stuff, and then I was talking about Star Trek, and then someone said, oh, I have a friend who likes the new Star Trek, and I immediately just fucking flew off the handle. I was like, Strange New Worlds? No. They got rid of gay Spock. They gave him a girlfriend. They got rid of his eyeshadow. And that's the thing. You can't. If someone ever so much as even implies heterosexual Spock, Mr. Spock, this soil seems rather fertile Spock, Jim Kirk, and they invented slash fiction. I said this, and my professor was like, that is true. And I won't let anybody forget this. Later, someone made a joke saying, do you think liking bagpipes is genetic? And I was saying, I don't think so. And they're like, I don't know, it depends, family. And I was like, no, but, like, it isn't a genetic thing. Like, that's not how you aren't genetically predispositioned to, like, any instrument. And they were like, it was a bit. And I was like, I went get a better one. And then he said, okay, well, what about Spock and his wife? And I was like, don't try me, because technically he was supposed to have one, but then she said that she wanted Kirk, so then Kirk and Spock would have to battle, so they're wrestling on the ground, and then McCoy gives Kirk this spot that makes it seem like he died, and when Spock thinks that he died, his whole fucker die energy, he completely surpasses it, and then he walks up, and he's like, I don't really want him, or whatever, and she was like, yeah, I like this guy, actually. I was gonna reject you either way. And then Spock gets back on the ship, and he goes, Jim! Spock does not smile, not like that. I said, another detail of another family member. The Daniel Howell always gets political. Yeah. Location of families, pictures, momentous archives. I mean, I went to all 50 states with my biological family. I don't really remember most of it. I was the youngest of 4. And then line explaining the importance of family items. I don't give a shit about family mementos. Also, for 3 words to describe myself: eccentric, eclectic, and esoteric. And loud. I am from Plant Flower Natural Item. Cannabis sativa. Description of above item. Just freaking groovy, cat. Down with jive? Silent. They weren't down with jive. That's it in a roundabout way. Oh, what do you mean you guys aren't on that skibbity dibbity dop? My 6'7" is 1967. The coolest cats are communists. There were comrades here. Oh, master of light and reflection. I said in Tellers, this is apparently the 30th showcase, and I'm like, 3. You know what? 3 times 2 is 6. Like in 1966 when Star Trek started to air. I should please let me have a creative direction. So, I will be getting to do lighting design, and I was like, no matter what, my piece is gonna be 100% maximalist. So I can absolutely go ahead and outdo everyone. Or you could let me make everyone's. Awesome. I used to constantly have a light shining in my face because, pretty lighting. But then I changed it to where I started just not having it on me all the time, and also spending time without a light shining directly at my face. And now I'm like, how the hell did I do that all the time? Because if I stand in front of that light for too long now, I start getting a fucking headache. Maybe this is just what growing up is. But what can I say? What can I say? I can say a lot, because I spend a lot of time philosophizing. It's like if Lenny Bruce was Timothy Leary, and also Daniel Howell, and Van Gogh, and Abed Nadir, a little bit of Fox Mulder, maybe some Castiel, a whole lot of Weird. 2 of my saved playlists, they're right next to each other. It's Dan and Phil Play The Sims Seasons 1 and 2, The Weird Al Show. And one of my Tumblr mutuals said, "Damn gay ass fucking moot. You like your white men weird and well articulated, don't you?" Well, how do you think I got so weird and well articulated? Like, yeah, I'm crazy, but I'm also not ashamed of being crazy anymore. So now that I'm insane and unashamed, I'm just having a grand old time. Doing whatever the hell I want, existing outside of the confines of society. When I told my friends about my encounter with those men, they were like, I don't get, I got rid of them by going, "I'm a dyke," and they went, "Oh." One of my friends was like, "I don't get how the hell did they look at you and go, yes, me as a straight man, this is some fine shit, let me say this to them." And then my friend Marilee, she was like, maybe it was a group of gay men and they thought you were a man and they were hitting on you. And I was like, I don't think a group of gay men would use the phrase, "hate to see you go, love to watch you leave." The whole time this guy's hanging around. I mean, the back of my jacket is fucking cool as hell. Because I sun bleached it. Yeah, this really cool thing I did on purpose, and not because I tried using it as balcony decor. I'm just that cool. Colors. And honestly, I was considering being like, this is a very generic leather jacket, but honestly, I love it. I just wasn't using it to its full capacity. I really like its collar. I have my Italian leather, which I thrifted. At the same time, I thrifted a trench coat, Dean and Castiel. But this one, you can fold up the collar and then tie it together so then it stays closed instead of having a zipper all the way up here. And I really like it because it makes this able to have the same functionality as a cape. I sweat a lot. I love getting to wear leather jackets, but when I'm walking places and I start to sweat a lot, I have to take it off and just wear it on my shoulders. And it's not that I want to wear it as a cape, it's that it gets really windy. And I'm like, I don't want to have to, sometimes I don't have, like, my satchel with me, because I live on campus, so sometimes I just take walks. And so I'll tie it together and keep it from falling off. And I just have broad shoulders, so, they're not going to slide off. I come from a long line of breaststrokers, the swim stroke. People be like, you're so weird, oh my gosh, you're so funny, you're the silliest person. And then, I'm like this most of the time, and then they're like, you're always talking about the same things. Why do you think I blog? Why do you think I'm a blogger? What do you think this website is for? What do you think my blog is for? Why do you think I have an intricate tag system? But you don't get a tag if you're a jerk. Unless I'm archiving your stupidity. That's why it's like, these people, they try and mess with me. They try and insult my appearance. But this is my narrative. This is my channel. This is my blog. Whatever I say is the truth on this platform because it's mine. It's my website. It's my channel. They're my videos. I'm the one choosing to post videos. Why would I give a shit what you think? I'm posting my video so then I can put it on my Tumblr. So then I can archive it, I can add everything related to it, like all of the references I make, so that whenever you search up, like, you could be looking up just psych, you could be looking up bisexual Sean Spencer, and there's a chance that it's like, there's going to be a ton of things that I just happen to be thinking about that. It's honestly more, it's fun sometimes when I click on my own tags and there's only like 2 or 3 posts in that tag, and I'm like, these are the ones that you want, these are the ones that are going to be hard to find, these are the ones that you're really going to have to sleuth for, because that's the whole point. You find the context yourself. And I'm going to keep saying this until people get the message, until people start doing it. Because I want it, so I'm gonna have it. Now, I'm not a lawyer. I don't do nothing that has rules. I don't do well with it. I always end up fucking the rules. But no matter what, at least one day, one person who is a practicing lawyer will find this. And if anybody ever tries to pull some bullshit on me, to try and do AI, if anybody ever so much as dares to use me for AI, I will get your ass. Not with my Yowie Wizard mind powers. With the power of friendship. Because a lawyer will be like, what the hell, why would you do that? And then they'll do it completely pro bono. Because I'm a Yowie Renaissance artist. I've said this many times. I should just be able to walk up anywhere and go, this is my art. I made this. You should give me whatever I want. Didn't feel. Yeah, I bet you like that. Freaking gay ass motherfucker. Now it's time for something I love. Roger McGowan, lead singer of the Byrds. He's he's always so jaunty with his guitar. He's always like, and his little glasses. Like, I don't know if I could pull off Roger McGowan's specs. Like, I said this before, like, with my jacket and the way it's a cape like that, I'm like a weird Graham Nash. Because everybody knows the photo I'm talking about. I guess I can pull it up. If you're into the Byrds or 60s or medieval revival, you might have come across it on Pinterest. Not Graham Nash, David Crosby. I do not look like Graham Nash. Oh, there we go. It was like one of the first things to show up. Not old David Crosby. If he managed to look even gayer. When I have the resources, I should definitely imagine a Byrds cover band. Or just a group costume. But you've got to... It's the 60s, man. Nobody understands what I say when the theme is the 60s. Because the 60s were erased. Censorship, the revolution was not televised, the revolution was erased. The revolution will happen again. What playlist is this on? I saw it on my True Psychedelia playlist, and no. I don't think this is a psychedelia. Maybe, I don't know. It has a... I like this cover more than the original. I just think that this song sounds better in a woman's voice. There's this. And then I say, that guy was boring people. It was during the, some episode, and they were doing this contest, and there were judges, and then he ate one of the judges whole alive. I also got asked if I wanted to do... It rhymes because it's true. The improv pre-show playlist, and I was like, just give me a theme. You just gotta give me a theme. And then I was like, I have medieval psychedelic folk, I have space age, I have a plethora of hippie music, I have Canadian garage rock, psychedelic 60s, the Poppy family, yeah. I have, like, trippy psychedelic shit. I have crooners like Bobby Vinton, Jack Jones. My getaway playlist, I have a Hawaiian ambiance, although I don't really see why that would... Well, like an island ambiance, but they're a bunch of white people. They don't need to do a Hawaii-themed improv. My artsy, if we want it to be really weird, I have just essential 60s music. Have a Ball, which is like waltz stuff. Freak Show, which is kind of making you feel like you're in a circus. References, which is stuff I reference. Bobrakavra, which is just my collection of Polish music. Groovy Cat, for just shit that's groovy. Summer of Love, I Love You. That one is 96 songs, 4 hours and 32 minutes, all about love. I like that whole love thing. Mellow Sound, which is kind of in between, I would say, psychedelia and easy listening music. Easy listening music, like that shit could be in an elevator. Because pop music used to be like based in art. I have Real People, which are songs that have just like at least one really human moment in them. My 60s Aussie Kiwi, there's this Human Instinct, The Hustler. They have one of my favorite intros to a song. Cheers, which is kind of like you're in a bar, or, just like Cheers. Rainbow Connection is on there, and so's Michelle. I'm not, and Starstruck by the Kinks. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. Sitar, The Encyclopedia of Psychoactive Plants, which are all of my songs from the 60s that are the directly referenced drugs, although, like, I keep forgetting about it. Like, there's so many songs that I need to add to it. It's Always Sunny in San Francisco is my Sunshine Pop playlist. Boogie Keys, which is when there's this very specific kind of piano riff going on, this style that is a little clanky. Crystal Waters, which is vintage Hawaiian, and I have like actual Hawaiian music. There's this one 60s Hawaiian pop, Don Ho. There's this song he wrote. It feels Ele Kalele. Yeah. Beach party song. It's a really fun time. I have also EP sound effects, which are all of the songs that have sound effects in them, which is very prevalent in 60s music. Somber Beauty, I think that explains itself. 60s California Coast, this is like, you're on the California coast. Surf rock, sunshine pop, it's 60s surfing, which is just a bunch of surf rock, so there's a lot of instrumentals and stuff. 60s Dyke Lounge, too much to explain. Free Love, which is, for gay shit, but vague. Queer, lesbian, bisexual, ally, whatever the hell, polyamorous, having a folkin' good time. Don't use folkish as your folk descriptor. I mean, it's not like it's in the context, but on an online space, just be careful because it can be a white supremacist dog whistle. Now, it's something in context, like you don't just see folkish and go, oh, it's this appropriation of heathenism, and it's very common specifically in prisons as like a white supremacist thing, so it's like, it's a certain crowd. It's just one of those things that it's just like, be careful. Medieval Revival. Spooky? Am I Spooky? Which is an X-Files reference, and I was never a fan of that trend because it was like, spooky, am I spooky? And it was someone who was like actually scary, and I'm like, people were making fun of him because he likes aliens. Ethereal speaks for itself. Personal favorites. Fairy Side, which is this kind of like a very specific type of ambiance. I'm not quite sure how to describe it. Can You Play the Blues? Brokeback Natural. Cali Beatnik, which is more of a, beatnik rock was more 50s, and then a lot of those beatniks became hippies, and then hippies became punks, and they always hate the older generation, but we wouldn't have the older generation without, every generation without the one that came before it, and we are not the enemy, fascism is the enemy, so instead of like taking it out on me, take it out on fascism. I have my non-conformity playlist. Beat Bop, which is for like Mercy beat meets kind of a sock hop vibe. Not the Boss of Me, which is Malcolm in the Middle. It's honestly I just went through the Malcolm in the Middle soundtrack and then I picked out all the songs that I really liked. and then I added some that I also think have the vibes. Baroque, Freaks and Harry's, Dykes and Fairies, which is I'd love to change the world. It's my, like, garage rock playlist. There's also some, like, proto-punk on it. New York Dolls. Fucking a bunch of... And there's a whole ton of niche fucking shit. But also I don't know how niche is. Like, are the Sons of Adam niche? How many listeners do they have? 1,406. Yes, everybody knows this. Tropicana, which is a broad kind of tropical sound. I think that they're... No, for a second I was like, have I put a Polish song in there? Because, you know, I love me some Polish music. Psychedelic instrumentals, a lot of sitar, garage, discotheque, which is like in the early sense to where it's live music. No, instead of live music, it's recorded music with an emphasis on light, design, ambiance, Middle Eastern funk, Afrobeat, Eurofunk. The revolution will not be televised. Socialist revolution, motorcycle. The motorcycle song, which is actually like a Draft Dodger song, but it's like not the motorcycle song. Alice's Restaurant. I have the motorcycle song, Motorcycle Michael by Lottie Gold, Bike, Pink Floyd, Leader of the Pack, Shangri-La's Born to Be Wild, Steppenwolf. Western introduction to culture. A lot of people will be against trying non-Western canon music. So this is you can sneak in, a lot of it is English lyrics, but non-Western music elements. 60s psychedelia, and it's like world of psychedelia. You know, a lot of Asian psychedelia, because that's where a lot of it is rooted in. And I tried, I just kept looking at a bunch of countries and finding their 60s music, because music has always been everywhere. Yeah. The thing is, I can't just make these playlists. I listen to music over time, and then I just add them in. The great thing about, good taste comes from unemployment. Bro, those goddamn Kroger stands, like, I told them to just go away. I was like, you're not wanted here, go away. I don't want you here. You're a fan of the guy who made a bunch of pilgrim hats for Thanksgiving. No, thank you. You're a pilgrim. You're a Puritan. You're a Tumblr Puritan. And this is my blog, my narrative. So I'm gonna tell the story in a way to make everybody see why you're a fucking bitch-ass little cunt. Little cowardice cuckboy. I don't give a shit. You mess with the Rain Man of Yowie, a Yowie wizard. Literally nothing can stop me. Why the hell would you not liking me? You can't even say it to my face. Like my mother told me, nobody would want a child like me. Oh no, you told me I have a big forehead. So does Jeff Winger. And they talk about him being hot all the time. Because beauty standards, racism, Eurocentrism, male privilege, all of these things, they're bullshit. I hate them, and you're enforcing them. I don't care if it's just a joke. It's not a funny joke. It's a shitty joke. And I'm gonna troll you. I'm gonna say how I melted your body and then danced on its ashes. I like to channel Jory and his weed-smoking girlfriends and Ben Chang whenever I troll people. Just insane. And some people just don't get it. They're like, chill, Poppy, it's a joke. Also, why are you calling me Poppy? I ain't Spanish, I'm Polish. What would, I don't know what the equivalent of Poppy would be in, Polish, but, tak brat, tacos. Yes, brother. Yes, cousin. I just had the idea of Polish jive talk. Oh, I'm gonna become insufferable. Got by therapy chums where the shit is so fucking funny I can't stop laughing at it. I said this in another video. One of the, when they were trying to troll me, they were like, thank you for calling me a cuck. I have a degradation kink, and now I'm truly happy. That's not how someone with a degradation kink would talk. Actual kinky motherfuckers, they have boundaries. Most of them have boundaries. Because how do they get that kinky? By having kinky sex. Fucking virgin. I say this in the sense that you're a fucking incel. A Tumblr incel. And so what? Don't be a fucking asshole because of it. You goddamn Puritan. And I said this in the 1969 documentary Sexual Inadequacies about sexual deviancy. It's now debunked. According to it, lesbianism just comes from parental issues, familial issues, trying to replicate a female role they didn't have. But there's also this scene about fetishism where this guy, this really sweaty pervert, is just dressing up this candelabra as a woman. And it was weird. But it was interesting. Far more interesting than those bitch-cut cowards. All you can think of is insulting my appearance? When I'm an insane person. Oh, but I already called you out for calling me a fucking schizo. That's, don't call people that. Don't call mentally ill people that. I'm not even schizophrenic. And you're saying, oh, well, why are you saying the word? Because that's not how slurs work. You don't talking about gender with people who don't understand dykes. Talking about mental illness with people who are insane. So many fucking rules with you guys. Pisses me off.